Peter, for agreeing to be interviewed. Can you tell me about the Heritage Centre?
Oh, there's a lot to say about the Heritage Centre, but I'll try and keep it brief. It was our old school. It was built by 1846 and it extended in 1870. And it closed in 1988, and it remained empty until our group, the Foulness Conservation and Archaeological Society, asked our landlord, the MOD, if we could use it as a heritage centre. They ummed and ahed for a bit about it, but we said that we were, honest in our question, and they said, okay, well, you can have it for about a year. And during that year we set to work and tidied the place up, because it had been empty for over 10 years. And then we showed it to them and said, look, this is what we've done in a year. So they said, very good. So for the next 15 years we've now got it, and during that time we've added loads and loads of exhibits. We've seen some old people and they've given us all their old stuff from their sheds and garages, and you've seen some of that stuff yourself. But the most interesting thing, I suppose, are the photographs. They're the things that keep people there. But as a heritage centre, I think it's unique for the Rochford area, and we get lots and lots of visitors on Sundays. Okay,
thank you very much, Peter. This is Bethan ending the interview with Peter on July 16th, 2014.
Thank you, Mr. Everett, for agreeing to be interviewed. Can you tell me, have you got a story from World War I, and was it very tragic, or was it okay to hear?
Yeah, it's not tragic directly. I think I mentioned it in the Heritage Centre. I had two great uncles who lived in Great Wakering near the exhibition. They never married. They were Simpsons. One went through the full length of the First World War in full action, over all the usual attacking over the top, all in the worst of the war, and never got a scratch. For 4 years he was out there, and it was such he was so lucky to survive even a week under those circumstances, but he was out there for 4 years. And something else you may wish to know: when the soldiers went off to war from Shoebury Garrison, which Shoeburyness had a garrison, the length of the marching men came through Wakering, and they were turning into Star Lane as the last of the first men were turning into Star Lane, Great Wakering, when the last of the men were coming round the church corner. So the full length of Wakering High Street, probably 5 or 6 men wide, was the full length of the High Street.
Can you tell me, how long have you lived on the island, and where have you lived originally?
No, I live in Great Wakering. I don't live on the island. I'm the treasurer and the trustee of the Heritage Centre. I've got great-grandmother lived on Foulness, and other relatives as well.
Does anything weird happen on Foulness when you're here?
Not weird, very natural. We are very blessed that the degree of nature is a lot of natural things happen, and we see a lot of wildlife. And other than that, we live in harmony with the Ministry of Defence, who of course are exploding bombs and firing shells and doing other things that they have to do.
How much nature and animals and wildlife live here, do you at least think?
Quite a broad cross section. In the winter time, of course, there's the brent geese and waterfowl that are more prominent than there are during the summer.
Yeah.
Lot of butterflies, birds, wild birds, of course. We see this year particularly because it's been such good weather and breeding season. Hares, the brown hare, is done very well this year as well. So we do see a nice cross section of wild animals and birds.
Okay. How long has the Ministry of Defence looked after Foulness Island?
Well, 1915 is when they bought the island from the farmers. It was privately owned up to then, so everybody had to sell up. We've got records of farm sales where farmers had to sell things, and that's essentially when they took over. Although they didn't really start to do a huge amount of for their work until after the Second World War. war started. But they've fired along the Maplin Sands as their artillery range since about that time.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you very much, Mr. Everett. This is George Marchant ending the interview with Mr. Everett on July the 16th, 2000.